Let's get rolling. Um, so like first thing on my mind, like looking at this chart, this is fucked. Like it's just like straight up, straight down choppiness. Like there's no like regard, right? Um, break weekly structure here. Immediately goes back up. This is technically like a whole bearish retest right here, but this is considerably bullish having gotten back inside the range. So it's fucked. Yeah. The thing I think for like trading right now is we need to think about like where we're at and what is going on. So the first thing like kind of notice, right, is the range initially, even if you'd never had this range charted before. This is basically what we're stuck in, right? And got this double deviation crap, which is something that rarely happens, but um got all kinds of structure breaks on the daily right now. We're back above on the EMAs, right? And if we look at the weekly, it almost looks like it just came down for a bounce, right? But I don't think being long into here at all is like any good idea. Um I actually think we're gonna pull back over the next day, potentially or two. If we do like manage to go ahead and get back above this level here, I think you're gonna see a lot more traditional sideways action before we go up. But if we start to roll back into here, I think this is where you want to get aggressively long and understand, hey, if we're actually gonna start trading below here, then you'd need to cut. Because I'd rather sell on a break of that coming into here 10 times out of 10 every single time, because I don't believe this is going to be an area to want to be long if we end up trading down into here. Not saying like you end up shorting right here, but cut leverage longs if we get into here, down kind of below this area, right around 62K. Like if we start to, trade into 61.7-ish, then cut those leverage longs on any kind of bidding into here. And I'd wait to get short until we get below here again. If we get back below this like range low that we've had, we're going a little bit lower. I don't think that's the case. I generally believe we're going up. But, you know, just because I think we're going up doesn't mean I don't need to have a plan for the other side. I do think this is the best area right now to be de-risking from longs as well. At least not like to where if you're coming down into here, you're getting liquidated. Like you don't really want to be getting a big chunk taken out of your account if we do come down into here. I kind of feel like we're going to be able to take out these lows, but that might not even happen. This could be that classic slow grind up, don't let anyone in kind of PA. And if we don't get any kind of pullback or anything, I think it yeah, is okay to get long above here. If we get a little bit more traditional sideways consolidation, I think it's okay to long once we're above here, like on a daily or 4 hour closure, just long based off that closure, and just know we've got to hold kind of above that level. You know, we can wick down into here, but want to see the daily close back in underneath. Um, because realistically, this can continue to go all the way up, roll back down into here, and then we go up. Um, but I think if we're going to be anticipating that the range breaks from here, it's pretty good risk to reward that you can't, if you're trying to squeeze it in, right? You're going to get two opportunities to squeeze long sides for the all-time high breakout if we get one. And that's going to look probably something like A, right? If we continue grinding up, get a daily close above here, punt, kind of stop loss on the sense of a 4 hour close back in here if you want to be aggressive on the time frame, or daily close back in here if you want to kind of extend your risk a bit. Um, and so daily close, right? Above you long. Sorry, my roommate came in wondering if I wanted dinner to be ordered, but he didn't know I brought stuff home. 4 hour close below, daily close below, whichever one your risk tolerance wants to be. That'd be stop out. Okay, probably look to flip short then above wherever say price goes, and we can look at that as like a deviation up here. Retest, short back down into here, and then pick up our longs again. Now, the second long, right, for all-time high breakout would look probably something like this. Um, where we're going to be eyeing, it's probably going to be a tighter, not as tight of a risk to reward value, um, but you'll still get a decent opportunity. So, does anyone have any kind of questions on all that? I know I kind of went through a bit, and it wasn't necessarily the best organization wise talking about it. Yes, no, maybe so. Basically, any questions on Bitcoin or what we went over? Okay. Um. Okay, go Harsha. Talking something like this, in a sense. Oh. Like if I'm drawing a trend line, like would I draw it from wicks or would I draw it from the candle closures? The here's the thing with that. I don't like using trend lines in a lot of the times in this kind of context at all. Um, in a sense, right? Um, because to me, there's no trend here, right? We were pretty much in. If you opened up the chart from March all the way to now, right? July. It's 1, 2, 3, March, April, May, June, July. About 5 months. You have a 99% chance to probably look at the same prices or relative, right? So there's no real like trending environment per se, right? So I mean, yes, we could do this and go like that, and you'd be like, oh yeah, we just broke the trend line, easy long, yada yada yada, and hindsight 2020, right? But like to me, like the context isn't there for that. This wasn't like trending; it was range bound. Whereas like if we're looking at trend lines, like I prefer to see something in kind of a little bit more of an aggressive trend, so to say. Like, let's see, let's try and look here. I want to pull up a stock chart because I know what stock chart I'm gonna look at. But um, okay, so like for right here, right, up, down, up, down, up, right. This is kind of aggressively trending up, right? We see this uptrend. So this is more of something where like I would use the trend line per se, um, in that kind of like bull flaggy-ish context, more so. Or you can end up using. I mean, this one really doesn't have a clean. Sol doesn't really have a clean trend line here, but like those little higher time frame trends where you're looking for something that is this is on a 4 hour trend right now. But like to fully answer your question, it's contextual for me. On placing trend lines on wicks or candle closures. It's more of like what do I feel is actually resistance. Um what stock did I trade last week? One second, I'm looking where my stock charts are. And also too, Harsha, to like kind of answer your question a bit more on that, because I was looking at one of my other charts and actually my Coinbase chart. I'll show it right here. I had this drawn, right? The context is a bit different here. This thing has a bit more of a degrading angle, right? Where we see like a more predefined lower high. And if we go back to Bitcoin, this, yes, we have this high here, but like this isn't really that much of a predefined lower high when we have these equal highs here. like say this rolled over too and then bounced like this, like yes, we could kind of take that into context as a trend line. Um, but going back to looking for stock, the chart, what chart was it? What chart was it? I post way more charts than I thought. Oh, here it is. Rivian. Um, I mean, I know I have these two here, and this is where I couldn't figure out what I feel is contextually more so the resistance. I mean, I personally feel like it's the bottom one, but we've seen a little bit of a hang up here. So this one I kind of wanted to study myself, right, and see like how this is going to react because I personally feel like it's going to go up. Um, and right now we're just digesting this move again here, so we're getting another batch consolidation before the leg up. And if that's the case, that'll tell me that this was never the resistance in a sense. So, does that kind of explain like my thought process on like trend lines in general and everything? All right. So, since we're done talking about Bitcoin, unless there's any more questions, what charts do we want to look at next? Because altcoins is just gonna kind of be your guys' picks, Adam. What charts you want to see? I really don't have anything in mind right now. I personally feel like alts are gonna kind of pull back no matter what. I don't think they, if Bitcoin breaks all time high, I don't think they run. I think they're gonna lag, consolidate a bit, and then we'll see go. And that would actually be the healthiest for if we're gonna continue moving up. Yeah, I won't trade this shit. I don't care what you say, Professor. Okay. OP. What kind of time frame are we wanting to like look at? Aladdin. Like what kind of trade in a sense? Daily? So a little bit more swing. Are you like currently in a trade or like I am? Details. Stop. TP. Something. I'm assuming it's a long right now. I'm just wondering because I'm trying to attack it from the angle that like you might be looking at. Aladdin going once. Stop and TP. Like, what are you kind of looking? I'm just curious what you're kind of looking at with the trade. Like, not like a oh this is wrong anything like or oh this is right now. I just wondering kind of like attack angle in a sense. Because like to me, there's a different analysis when someone's in a trade and when someone's not. Yeah. So do you have a stop and TP? Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna analyze it at this point. Um. So, I mean, right now I am a little bit more bearish altcoins and like bullish on them, right? Just like not like macro, just like short term. Like while Bitcoin gets this move to all-time high, I don't believe altcoins are going to see a lot of juice, and I could be wrong. I could be really wrong, but it's just how I kind of want to attack the market right now is remain BTC focused because I believe the reward's going to be there. Um, So we have this the low was set here. You got your sweep here and then it dumped again, right? This was our reclaim here. You got the reclaim, little batch consolidation, then up move. Um this is technically broken market structure on the daily, right? So we're making a higher high. Um I kind of feel like we're gonna pull back into this level. It's probably gonna end up digesting this move a bit, then we're gonna go up. Um this is also going to be an ETH beta, right? These lows right here just look like they're the opportune to take out. This isn't really like moving away with any kind of like haste in a sense. Um, so that's kind of what my gut says. That this is where I'd potentially be looking for like longs again. Um, if this can give some low time frame price action where we come down on the hourly and put in some decent market structure. um but like for now it could also, if I'm wrong about alts, right, and they continue moving up with Bitcoin, um it most likely would have to hold right around here, right? I would kind of look for this area to stay holding right here, if we're going to continue going up. If Bitcoin goes up, right, we don't pull back to where I kind of want to long. Um, so does that all make sense, Aladdin? Okay. Okay. Not. What kind of time frame are you wanting this on, Jojo? .4 hour. I mean, this thing's currently ranging right now, right? I think any kind of long for me, I'd kind of want us to see drop below here and get a little reclaim. I'd target into here. Not kind of a fan of the way this looks on the daily, even though we kind of have broke these highs here. I think it starts to backfill a bit more um, down into here, but we could continue to go up. That's why if we got below here and reclaimed, I think it'd be a good opportunity to get long into mid range and range high. I mean, it is stuck within a range. Treat it that way as such. Um, so trade one would be that target here, here, entry on here, stop down here. Um, if it ends up rolling over, this is where the area I'd look to like start probably trying to get long because it will at the very least bounce. This coin is kind of new, so it um could just continue to do this death spiral until later on because most fresh coins have these run ups um, and then do this whole leg of digesting back again before there's another run to like fill these areas. Okay. Did OP already focus soul? All right. This I want to buy the living shit out of if we can get right here. I did I was kind of gonna do a whole like starter trade. Like I bought on this reclaim here, longed, and I only did like 100 soul. I was kind of hoping it would end up rolling over early in the weekend because I was like, this was a whole weekend move. It's kind of hoping it'd roll over more. But unfortunately, that didn't come. So I just closed this out a couple of hours ago because I believe we'll actually get this, and I want to size a lot more. Like I was hoping I would if it was going to back test earlier, but it didn't. To end up playing into an all-time high move. Realistically, this is the print I'm kind of looking for. If we stay within um, this range here, Monday's range, right? Then and come down into here and reclaim before even running into this. I also am going to be longing the living shit out of with like a stop there. Um, this is like my next like conviction leverage trade because if there's going to be a coin that runs with Bitcoin, I believe it's going to be Sol. And I think the easiest target's going to be back into right around 240 before it starts digesting a move again to break all-time highs, whether that looks something like that or this. Is that cool, Jacob? Monday's range or max bid here. Because to me, it's again the only coin that'll trend with Bitcoin, and like it's where like you only get so many opportunities in a cycle to where you can kind of afford and like allow yourself opportunities, in my opinion, to like risk more than say like the standard 5% max risk on a trade for like a futures account. Like there's times where like you need to be like I call it lock the fuck in and bet more. And if it doesn't work out for you, you accept the little bit bigger losses and go back to the, standard 2 to 5%. Oh, I'm not shitting you, Demondi. I will like full port 20x something, but like my stop loss will be like a 3 or 4% hit. I do that shit all the time. And the reason for that is because when we're in a trending environment, like if you were doing that on this entire move, like even if you were just trading the daily candles, like that was your move and you're getting trades that look like this, right? Where you have 7R occurring. Not saying like this as in the move, but like say you got a 7R trade on like every single daily candle, but it takes you like 2 hits, right? Like you lose say 5% here, 5% here. So like let's say you have a 10K account, you risk $1,000 even, right? Minus 1,000, minus 1,000, right? Third time you hit it, um, that's a plus 7,000 right there. I mean, that's how I trade. I can do that though. Not everyone can like stomach that idea. But I also do only keep like 5% of my account value in futures. So like to me it's not a big deal. So like there's percent wise knowledge to that too on like port management. Um but yeah, to me this is conviction. Take a fucking decent hit on your futures account. If you like again, I treat it as such where like I only have 5% of my account in futures. But like my 5% is it's I mean, I think everyone should trade that way and they'd be a lot more successful, but not everyone's like capable of that. With the like max conviction betting, regardless of how much percent of your port it is, because like some people might be like, well, 5% is only like $100 of my port. Okay, well, if you can be like constantly doubling or tripling your futures port value and adding it to spot because you can do shit like this, then you're gonna grow your account faster. At least from my experience on how I trade and how I operate, it works best for me to grow my accounts that way. Um, okay. Doge. This is like, yeah, depression. I should have cut back there, but YOLO. We're getting stuffed into like resistance here. What chart did I have up? Was it this one? No, what chart did I send today? I swear it was Doge. Um, oh, it was AVAX. It wasn't even fucking Doge. Never mind. Um, uh, we are getting stuffed into a bit of resistance here, right? Logically, um, I think if there's any kind of dip into here, this is where you kind of want to like get pretty ponied up for a decent little Doge run. Um, but the I didn't think about it till now, but with Tesla earnings, I mean, this thing can just run. If it were to go ahead and keep consolidating in here, maybe we get another kind of close into here. We might see a spike up tomorrow. I mean, Elon did put his laser eyes PFP, so can always assume that's Bitcoin, but you could always assume it's Doge. The again, I don't have any reasons I'd want to enter any trade here on Doge. I'd rather look to leverage something into here for another leg up into here. Um, or if we can get something like this on the 4 hour, where we kind of get back into here and get something like that, I would be okay with taking a trade to target into here and here. Does that all make sense, Jacob? Go to AVAX first. We're stuffed right into here. This is the chart I was talking about. A lot more classic of like a bearish retest, right? Um, this thing was running in sympathy with Sol. And if you look at Sol slash AVAX, or AVAX slash Sol, enter. Sol has definitely been the better play. But I think if price wants to accept getting above here, it's probably a decent long up into these highs right here for now. You could probably assume to look for like a candle close around here and then a little bit of sideways before digesting a move up. So this coin might be something that runs with Bitcoin and Sol because of its run up with Sol. It might lose its steam. For now, though, if it were to come back into here, I think that's a decent buy to at least treat this area as a range short term. If you're kind of looking for more of like a lower time frame trade too. All good, Jacob. Okay, fat. I think this is going to end up backfilling this right here, um, coming into this range and creating this as a range. Before another leg up, AI's not really going to be in a good position right now. US like banned exporting chips to China or something like that, and China is like 40% of Nvidia's sales. There's something going on with like the exports, and like Nvidia is going to like have to like create a new chip. That was news that came out today. That they're working on a chip. See you, Demonde. Um, so I don't think AI is really going to be in a good spot here. Short-term trade would look for something from here to here. If it can come down into here. Make sense? Comprende? Good. Okay. Mikey, you there? You're wondering how I'm going to trade ETH leading up to the ETF. Yeah. Um. I'm not going to trade ETH actually. Like right now, and this whole entire time since June 2023, I've flipped the switch of like no shorting. I think I've probably taken combined total of like 5 shorts, and they were like short scalps. Um, since like June 2023. So I'm not like, I think the ETF's good, you know. But ETH kind of doesn't look like the greatest to me. I mean, it's kind of similar to PA. A lot of the coins that we're seeing right now, they're all getting hung up on like this little range here, right? Um, I would say if price comes in, does something like this because of the ETF, yes, that's a like logical trade to take. I personally just feel like ETH's going to be a little bit heavier. Again, I don't think altcoins run with Bitcoin if Bitcoin breaks all-time high. So like even ETH's with that for me. Now, again, I could be wrong. ETH and Solar, like 2 coins I mentioned that now could be running with Bitcoin on that initial break, and everything else kind of stays patterned, minus another random coin here and there on occasional days or whatever. But um I'd be more inclined to look to long something back down into here again, like 3250 ish. But and I'm not going to trade it. That's just what like kind of my thought process would be, is look for longs here and look for longs kind of down around here, right? Um, but because if I'm going to be sticking to 2 coins to trade, it's going to be Bitcoin and Sol. I feel Sol will outperform ETH, regardless of what this chart looks like. And this actually looks pretty okay to at least come up into here still. Then it'll probably digest a move before continuing higher. If we are actually going to go higher on crypto across the board. Um, the other reason I'm not looking to trade ETH is I do think looking for any shorts down into here is viable right now. Um, and I really only want to trade longs, and I also only like to not open really more than 2 positions on my futures account. I do have ETH spot. I actually it's actually one of the only coins that like I'm actually like break even on. Sol I'm actually great on. Um, as far as break even, actually, yeah, no. I mean, I'm not really red on anything spot wise. It's just wrong mentality. Sorry. Like I'm green on everything, but like my rebuys per se that I did. Um, yeah, no, that Doge and ETH. I mean, not what I'm scatterbrained right now. Sorry. The like I do own ETH spot, and I'm not going to sell it because I believe this will hit all-time highs, and it's just okay to sit in. I mean, like I haven't really taken any drawdown from buying ETH, back in March, right? Why the fuck does this look so much longer? Because we've been stuck in this range here, right? But no, I don't know why I was losing myself. Marbles. So I was like trying to explain about why I'm not going to trade ETH, but like at the same time talking about like what I think it's going to do instead of just talking on one. And then I was talking about my holdings, and then I was like, fuck, what should I do with those? So there's a lot of moving parts just going on with Ethereum. Because then I thought, oh, sell my ETH for Sol. Like, I mean, yeah, sell my ETH for Sol. Yeah, there was a lot of moving parts just going on. Um, but yeah, I mean, those are kind of the trade setups I'd look for. But I won't be touching it. Okay, ETH. He replied, "I'm not charting tenant and roost, Arnon. Like, if you're being serious, I'm assuming that's the joke." Um, okay. ONDO USCT. No, flippy flip. Um, so, I mean, this thing's purely downtrending right now. Um, it's not something I'm not gonna short. That's like a missed opportunity to short. Short was right here. But I don't really like the idea of longs right here. Like I would need to see this flipped. Like regardless of this being any kind of like support at all, this would need to be flipped. Like cuz yes, I could do something like that, right? Where it just holds here and continue going up. But like from like outside of like there's two things I mean when I say risk to reward. There's risk to reward on this, right? Like that's risk to reward. And then there's it's more of like it's not opportunity risk. but it's like opportunity and risk in the sense of like the risk to reward to long here isn't there. Like this is very likely to go down more so than it is to hold here. Because the context is just it's purely downtrending right here, right? Um, I don't think that's the worst idea. Um, I also think this is a decent long opportunity. That's why I had it charted. If it does flip here, I would long into these highs right there. T1, T2. Your trade would look something like this with 4 at the top high, 2.5 R there. So, and that's not to say you don't maybe end up getting this a little bit tighter depending upon like if the hourly shows consolidation, you play an hourly breakout, you put a stop below the hourly low kind of deal. Um but yeah, I mean I like this kind of looks attractive here. To come back into here, that looks attractive to me before it continues going up. Cuz to me, like the way I'm looking at this is this thing ran so aggressive for so long. This is going to be one of those more like where we're going to see something like this. I mean, I I play differently. Like I'm not like I don't really have short-term spot trades in a sense. Like I'll do them occasionally. But that's like if I think something's going to move 50, 60% and I'm not sure I want to hold a leverage trade for the amount of time I think that trade's going to take place, even if it's only like a month. I don't feel like holding a leverage trade for more than like a week. Like I don't swing trade my leverage trades that gnarly all the time because like I know I talked about doing a leverage trade on Sol all the way up to here, right? And holding that. But this is something that like Sol can be if it comes down to here and moves up to here, this is something that can like literally actually take a week. Where you just have 7 daily green candles like in a row. Because Sol does kind of move on that PA scale, right? Spot I so like to me I wouldn't like sell any Ondo. Like I don't like selling spot until I feel the cycle's over with Bitcoin. Like that's what I purely go off of. Unless like I start feeling like back here I was gonna fucking I was gonna I sold a lot of shit. I didn't sell everything. I was thinking about selling everything, but then a lot of the shit that I sold I ended up buying back like a couple days later because I was just like, all right, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna continue going up. Even though like my initial thought process was this is gonna range for a couple months. And here I'll even fucking pull out receipts of that. Range few months. Let's see, months. It's got to be in. No, it's in here. Okay. Go. No. Magoo. Why isn't it fucking searching? I need. Hold on, let me turn off streamer mode. That's why. Sure. Magoo. Enter month. Okay. But I think we range for a couple months. That was March 16th. Right here. Anyways, had a lot of conviction in that. Flip the switch. So like there's times where like I think selling spot is okay like that, right? Like mid cycle in a sense. Um and I would have done myself favors if I didn't buy back because my original plan I more than likely would have bought back down here. Um Probably here, added more here, but didn't happen. Didn't execute properly. So like going to the whole like selling Ondo thing, like I don't know. I treat spot differently with how I like manage my own port and everything, and like it's how it works for me. And it's what I've done both cycles. It's like how I treat my stuff. I mean, last cycle, if Steve is in here, is he still or did he leave? No, fucking Muncher's gone. Hardship probably remembers though. Um, like last cycle, I bought Soul here at $26, and I didn't sell any until here. I sold some at 240, 220, and like 260. But like my average exit ended up being 240, and that was because I felt like Bitcoin was top there. Um, I didn't sell here on a 50% pullback. Like I continued holding because I didn't feel like the cycle was over. Because who knows, this could have continued going up, got a deeper pullback again, and then gone up higher. Like instead of like having this consolidation here. Like you never really know, and I'd rather hold more cyclically because I'm feel like I'm pretty good at timing cyclical point of actions. So I mean, my track record says I am, so I'm going to believe I am. But yeah. And then Jupe. Okay. This is sympathy right now off of Soul. If I was to get long, I'd look for a back test into here. If you're gonna try and trade this to like another higher high right here, where we have low, high, low, high, I'd look to get a little bit long around here. I think that's the only trade I'd really look to take on Jupe. I think if it just automatically comes up into here, you might see some weakness coming into these highs. This is where if you want a short-term trade spot or do whatever this or short, this is where you'd look for some shorts to trade back down into here-ish. And this is where you'd reload up. Makes sense, Naders? I don't even think is Nader's even here anymore. Nope. Her left. Okay. Trias. Theog, are you here? No, he's not. You guys like ask for charts and they leave. I'll just go over it real quick. Any other coins? Trying to get like final listings if there's any like asks. Focus, were you not here for ONDO? Figure out along Trias, Theog, if you're watching this on a recording, this is where I'd look to be long. I don't think there's any reason, there's no real targets for me to like adjust this higher. This looks like it's gonna have a struggle bus here. I think the pullback to long would be down into here. To trade, ultimately equal high, those highs. No, OP. I didn't say you asked about ONDO. If I did, then fucking scatterbrained. But like I went over OP, like that was like the first altcoin I went over. But I guess you weren't here. I personally feel like it's gonna roll back into here. I know Aladdin was in a trade from like 1.7 or something, and his like stop was at entry. You're gonna want to see these two levels hold. Otherwise, you're getting stopped at entry if you're in that same trade or whatever. Because overall, like I'm not the most bullish altcoins right now. LDO. Another ETH beta. This thing looks like dog shit. I'm gonna be real. Like this is heinous. This is absolutely heinous. On the side note, it's probably gearing up for another one at some point. Because like this, and this, if you look at it, it's all kind of the similar length. Maybe the fucking history repeats itself. But I wouldn't touch this thing on leverage at all. If you're gonna be long on any kind of spot, I think you'd want to see this area hold and buy some spot around here. And look to try and get another one of these kind of legs. But I don't think this is a coin to like leverage trade. Like even like on the low time frame. It's just this PA sucks. Like this is definition of chop. Chop. Like there's no like clear trends, right? Like look how many like sell candles there are in a sense, right? I don't know. That's my whole entire opinion on LEO. Probably too much information. But like that's yeah. I mean, if you're gonna look for any leverage trades too, I'd look for the leverage trades in here. At least do it in an area where there's like major support, or you get a flip of like $2. You could target into here if you actually want to trade this nightmare. My take profit strat, it changes on every trade. If you're asking like futures, spot, it changes on every coin too. Outside of like cyclical holds. I have not done APTOS yet. Every chart looks the same. If this is going to continue going higher from here, this is where you want it to hold. If it doesn't end up holding, I think you can long back down into around $6 to at least play back up into here. Before it looks to digest like another move to go higher. Um, so would look for something like that, or if it holds here, look to take profits into here on any kind of longs. But this would be the area to hold, or look for bullish price action on the low time frame if you're looking to enter trades, expecting to try and trade this move. Makes sense? Yeah. I'm just trying to speed through these. So, I mean, if something doesn't make sense, ask, please. But been doing this for an hour. I want to go eat. Um, Rip, can I call you something else? Because I don't know why calling you Rip Pierno is just like not it. I mean, I'll do it if you want me to. Dom is fine. Okay. Thank you. Fuck, I've been calling you Dom for so long. It's like, um, this thing looks like death, dude. Are you trading this? I mean, even just to trade in general. Of course you are. Fuck. Like, no wonder why you were trading Forex for so long. Because you like shit like this. You move to crypto and you tell yourself, I'm gonna trade MATIC. I'm gonna trade something that moves exactly like Forex. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't short this here. Just me. I mean, I know you are much more of a lower time frame trader than I am. Like I know that for a fact. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think if you're scalping something like that where you shorted here, would be your scalp TP, not a swing at all. Let's go look at the 15. Yeah, I mean, this thing's just in a range. Pretty much. Long here, short here. All right. Any other questions? Or am I good to go? I'm not trying to like sound like a downer by saying that. I'm just starving. No. Um, I'm I've been bullish Bitcoin dominance this whole cycle. I think Kaiser could attest to that because I remember flashing him the monthly chart. Like, I don't know. This chart looks beautiful. It reminds me of a stock chart where it's just up, literally up only. Like, yeah, there's the red candles, but this thing's like literally just going up. There's a possibility it goes to here. Like, if we're gonna have a super fun cycle. Realistically, my targets this cycle the whole time have been 58 to 64. I would love for this to come here. Like, I absolutely would. My port at the moment would not love it, but I would. Like if I lost a shit ton of money again, like unrealized loss again, and it was because Bitcoin dominance did this, I would not give a singular shit. Simply because it would do something like that again. Or into here. And this would be like glorious. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on BTCD. I don't know if you're like looking for something else focused, like shorter term. I have beef rib tacos to go eat right now. You think it's gonna roll over? Is that what you're trying to say, focused? It's just like classic no dip PA. Like more times than not, when coins do that, when things do this, they continue going up. In crypto at least. Especially when it's like green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, like how the monthly candlesticks are. Things like this continue going up more so than going down. Whereas like in the opposite example, if we were to look at something like this, right? And go down to the weekly, this kind of no dip PA here is a little bit more bearish in a sense. Like especially with that with the doji being at the top, right? That's the like icing on the cake there. Like for it being bearish PA. But like because there was no like digesting of the move, it was just an up straight vertical move there. Later on into like an extension, like we have 1, 2, 3, right? That's where like that kind of PA gets bearish. Where like if it had more red candles, we probably would have seen a bigger breakout here. At least that's how I feel with context, like up grindy channels in a sense, and what I call like vertical accumulation. Well, I mean, because the thing with like BTCD, yes, altcoins can go up. What BTCD is like, okay, let's take 100. Let's say there was only 100 coins in crypto, right? If 49 coins were going up with Bitcoin, actually, if all the coins were going up with Bitcoin, right? And you have BTCD, but BTC is outperforming Bitcoin alts for the most part, right? Like if 49 altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, but 50 coins are underperforming Bitcoin, right? Because that 49 altcoins, 50 altcoins, right? And then Bitcoin's one coin left. So you have 99 plus 100, right? You have 49 outperforming, 50 outperforming. Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. More than likely, it's going to be sideways. It can go up. Whereas if you had 50 altcoins outperforming Bitcoin and 49 not, then that means Bitcoin dominance is going to go down. Does that make sense? So like altcoins and everything can go up. They can. But it literally just means like outperformance. That's all it is. Like, okay. Down, back. Because I was too lazy to press the eraser because I didn't think it was that far back. Jesus. Each of these weeks right here, it was better to be long altcoins than Bitcoin. That's all this chart is saying. Each of these weeks here, it's better to be long Bitcoin than majority of altcoins. Like right now, it's better to be long Bitcoin than majority of alts because this is green on this month. This is a monthly chart, not a weekly chart, my bad. But all these months, it was better, statistically better to be where it's black candlesticks. It was statistically better to be long alts. The green one, it's the green months, it was statistically better to be long Bitcoin. Yes, you have an occasional alt going up more, right? And it might seem like all, but it's not. So comprende? All right. That's gonna be it. I don't know. I'll send the stream to like Carter or Jacob. So yeah. All right. Night, y'all.